Yesterday, I read an article where a journalist was interviewing a panel of 3 American entrepreneurs. While everybody else is complaining about what America needs to do about worldwide conflicts and threats at home, these 3 are doing something about it. How? They are all founding, organizing, and promoting businesses that create technology for the military defense of the United States. They're writing sophisticated software and developing drones and rockets, along with surface vehicles and submarines that are operated remotely. These are private citizens doing what is normally done by huge established defense contractors for the U.S. military. Now, I'm not here to comment on war or military defense. I am here to note what these 3 innovators shared regarding what they've learned about people and creativity. They've earned a right to speak on these subjects because they are presently changing the entire defense marketplace by using Silicon Valley's speed, creativity, and innovation. They're advancing our national security in the name of saving America militarily in the face of genuine threats from the Middle East, Russia, and China, to name just a handful. These entrepreneurs said that the United States is falling behind the standards of excellence that we once held. We've become mired in the politics of identity and personal interest, rather than being driven by merit and creativity. They say that we're experiencing a crisis of talent and real expertise, that we've settled into a culture of incompetence, where people play political and identity games instead of valuing excellence of ideas and performance. It was a very insightful article. One panelist, Catherine, states that our greatness comes from building new things and taking risks. And she added that this building and creating is not just about technology. I was impressed with her insight and courage as she said that building a family is part of the nation building. Building, she said, is life. Growth is life. Creation is life. Love her. Building a family is the greatest contribution most of us will ever make to a strong country. Are we doing that? What are we really seeing? The strength of the family has actually been eroded, severely eroded, by entitlement, identity confusion, and, most of all, parents having no idea how to raise children in a world that is so rapidly changing. And what is the biggest change of all that we've seen so far? By far, no contest. In recorded history, nothing has changed the family, no single thing, as much as electronic screens. Phones with the social media, video games, and porn that accompany those devices. There was a debate for years about whether phones were truly affecting the mental health and happiness of our kids and ourselves, but recent studies leave zero doubt now that screens have struck a terrible blow to our kids' well-being. It took a decade or so to accumulate this proof, just like it took us decades to figure out that the dramatic increase in heart and lung disease in this country exactly paralleled our increased smoking. The curves on a graph of smoking and lung cancer became undeniably similar, just separated by some years, just as the increased use of phones has been correlated exactly to the increase in the unhappy behavior of our kids. No kidding. Parallel curves. As parents, we couldn't possibly have been prepared for our children being suddenly and powerfully overwhelmed with influences that we could never have imagined. Within a period of only a few years, our children were propelled into a world where they were being badly misinformed, intentionally misled, and essentially misparented by anybody who wanted to exert their influence on the internet. And this has left our kids drowning in pain, as we see ourselves in their whining, demanding, complaining, and suffering from addictions to behaviors and substances and devices. So what then shall we do? Is it hopeless? The answer must begin with knowing what all children need more than anything else, as much as air and water. You want to know why any given person is behaving badly? If you ever want to know, just look for what they need and are not getting. Why do people drown? Because they're not getting the air they need. What do children need? Well, immediately ask, what do we all need? We all need to feel loved. The Beatles knew that, for heaven's sakes. All you need is love. But the word love has become diluted and distorted to the point that we talk about loving chocolate and loving each other in the same sentence. Pretty confusing. We don't even know what love is, certainly not the kind of love we need. Is there an answer? We all need love or caring that is unconditional, the kind we don't have to earn, the kind with no taint of disappointment or irritation, the kind utterly unknown to most of us. We can build and maintain the strength of the family and the community and the nation only if families are strengthened by unconditional love. But how can parents give children this kind of love if they've never seen it or felt it themselves? Remember, this is love without disappointment or anger. It's almost unheard of, as I've learned in interviewing tens of thousands of people over 30 years. Almost unheard of. But we must find it, because children without unconditional love are unavoidably in pain. And then they're crippled by their reactions to the pain. Depression, anxiety, self-harming, and addictions to social media, and so on. In that toxic soup, strength of soul, strength of family, and strength of the nation cannot thrive. That could sound discouraging. But the way to find this kind of love and share it with our children is not a mystery, fortunately. It's already been described thoroughly, and we can learn it. Find the practical answers at realloveparents.com and reallove.com.